You know, every time somebody says "New Year, New Me," I kill someone because I hate hearing that. In
In
5D.
5D.
That's it. That's all I had for you for the new year. But dear God, people, stop saying that. It's not cute. It's not clever. It's not fun. Nobody likes it. And you're not going to stick to whatever you decided to do, anyways.
Well, I honestly feel like there's a whole lot of those things people just say that they just shouldn't. Like, I would be fine going the rest of my life without hearing someone say case of the insert day because it's
Okay,
no
so the
longer
Mondays, yeah.
Mondays, just Mondays. Now it's also Wednesday's a problem. It's got its own name
Hump
now.
day, yeah.
I just I'm just not a fan of that kind of stuff. Um, but people are gonna be people. Like it's like people that enjoy puns. I don't get it. I personally don't.
Well, like, my big thing with the new year, new me thing, why'd you wait? If you were that serious about changing who you are and reinventing yourself,
Yeah.
why'd you wait? You're not serious about it. My resolution fucking every year is more of like a vague thing that I always say I'm going to try and be better about, but never some concrete like I'm not going to do this. Or and then the one thing I've been doing for the past few years now is I do my sober January. That's my big dedication of the year is for a whole month I'm not going to get shit canned every night, and it's the month where I'm meanest to people at work. That's it. That's the whole thing.
So question: if one year you decide not to do sober January, are you still going to be a dick just for consistency at your work?
Yeah, I won't tell anybody. I'll just still be a dick.
I mean, because you got to keep them like they got to know what to expect, man. It's
Right.
just the way it works, right?
Set the expectations, you know?
And then you'll never be disappointed. That's not
Right.
true. You could always be disappointed. All right. So one good thing though about all this holiday shenanigans is that I had some time off, so I actually started watching some shit.
Why are you watching shit?
Because I ate so much. It was sometimes you just gotta watch.
Fair enough.
Anyways, this is a show both you and I very much enjoy. I'm just interested in seeing what you thought of the new season of Letterkenny.
So I probably didn't give it the fairest shot because it was during like a week where I was working on stuff. So it was kind of background noise while I watched it. Still funny, still had like great chirpy one liners. Little disappointed with this finale. I just don't feel like it ended like the last couple seasons kind of ended on a big note.
Yeah.
And this season just kind of ended. Though I did hear that they were filming this is 10, right? So they were filming 10 and 11 back to back.
Okay.
I think with the hopes of putting 11 out quicker than they have for the last couple.
Yeah, because COVID really shut their production down for a bit.
Like a lot of productions, but
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, I would like this wasn't a mind blowing season. This wasn't like a new best. This isn't the season I'm going to use to try and sell anybody on the show. It was just a season.
Yeah. I will say that they did a lot more of the extended back and forths than the chirpy stuff that they used to do,
Yeah.
which unfortunately, if you recall me saying those were the bits that always drew a little long.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple that just fucking that floored me. But dude, there the one in particular is with Shorzy, and obviously I don't want to give it away because it fucking ruins it. But the one with Shorzy, and he's telling them about the ancestry thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
as vague as I can be,
Yeah.
and still be specific. And just back to back on fire. Where other times it's gone a little bit too long, like at least this time, like everything fucking stung. As an audience member, I felt the sting on some of those, and it was great, and I loved it. I'm sitting there laughing my ass off, and my wife, who only marginally gets the show,
Yeah, I don't watch that show with my wife because I don't think she would really enjoy it at all.
I don't think my wife does either. However, she's got the Switch, so she's playing on the Switch, and I've got control of the television.
Right.
It's a dynamic. We figure it out. No, I like the season. Obviously, the acting's still on point, but it just felt like what were the stakes of this one?
Right, and I think that kind of leads into the ending being what it was. The season
Yeah,
didn't really have any stakes.
yeah. It wasn't terrible. Not every show can have an amazing season every single time, but it, especially because I binged it, it felt a little, I don't know, disconjointed, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, oh my god. I enjoyed it. Definitely that. I horrified and traumatized my wife, so I guess that gives it something. What would you score it?
I mean, it's got to be like a 5 out of 10, right? It was really middle of the road. Maybe once I sit down and actually pay attention and rewatch it, it might score a little higher. But doing it as background noise the way I did, it just didn't do much for me. It was a really middle of the road season. Definitely laughs in it, laughed out loud at a few parts,
Yeah.
enjoyed it, but just wasn't anything crazy special this time around.
Yeah, not very memorable. Fair enough. I was gonna give it a 6 because as someone who graduated with all D's, I know that 50% doesn't cut it. So I was gonna give it a 6, right around there. There were some pretty good zingers. Um, I I feel like the show is both growing up and getting stuck.
Okay.
Because they are tackling certain themes as the characters are progressing as characters. That it is not just a dumb show. It's
Sure.
like I feel this is very much akin to like Big Mouth, where it is the crudest smart show. Like I
Big
know,
Mouth getting a spinoff.
I heard, and so is fucking Letterkenny. You gonna watch it?
I don't know.
I'm so
Are we gonna do the
conflicted.
whole show without showing his face?
I that is the biggest reason I'll probably watch at least the first episode.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely something I'll give a try. Whether I will watch it, that remains to be seen. But I will at least try it.
Yeah,
It'll,
or
it'll be his time to prove if he's a one hit wonder or not. Is this the only thing he really had in him, or can he carry another show?
exactly that, and also I'm wondering, are they just gonna put like a really big nose, glasses, and a fucking mustache on him? That's just how he's
Yeah,
gonna do.
I don't know.
I don't know how you pull it
Weirdest
off.
character to get a spinoff. I don't get it, but
I was very surprised, especially because Letterkenny has a really good set of like fucking characters.
yeah.
Like a Katie spinoff, I think would be great.
Well, and weirdly, it's kind of the same thing for Big Mouth, the spinoff that they're getting. I don't know that's what I would have done with a spinoff
Oh,
show, but
who are they doing for the spinoff for?
it's what's it called? It's called like The Office or no, it's
For sure, it's not called The Office.
no, I was gonna say it's called like Office Workplace or something like that. No, it's called like Human Development or something like that. But it's about where the hormone monsters and the Shane Wizard and all them work. So
Okay,
that other world with all of those wacky characters, it's gonna be about that, which I like kind of makes sense, but at the same
okay.
time, it just I don't know. If you were like Big Mouth's getting a spinoff, guess who it's about? That would never that would have been in my top 20 guesses, but it's not my
Yeah,
top 5 guesses.
I mean, I imagine it is one of the funnier and more popular characters.
I guess it's not really a character; it's a whole set because it's not just about the two hormone monsters. It's about that office.
Oh,
It's a
oh,
workplace comedy about the hormone monster
I am sorry.
world.
I thought when you said a character that got the spinoff, I was like, oh, the hormone monster got the spinoff.
No, no, no. Well, at least from the pitch that I saw, it's more of a workplace
Okay,
comedy about that. Like, and I'm sure that those three will appear, but I don't even think they're the main characters in it.
interesting. Yeah, that reminds me of like the fucking Monsters Inc. show.
It's exactly what I was thinking. Here, give me your thoughts while I see if I can find some more information on it.
Thoughts on the spinoff? I think it would work.
Human resources, that's what it's called.
Okay. I think it would work. So for the audience, we're just reiterating that Big Mouth, the show on Netflix. I'm sure you've watched it on the high seas. If you don't have Netflix, it's getting a spin-off. And if you've seen the show, we were just kind of confused that the character they're spinning off is actually not a character and more of a set piece, is what it sounded like. But it's the Hormone Monster world, or at least the office that they work out of. So I imagine it's the Monstrous, Hormone Monster, the Shame Wizard, that whole group. And then whatever that old Hormone Monstrous called it. You're the man.
Oh God, he's the best.
Oh, he's the best and the worst. He feels like in the league, El Cuñado.
Yeah, so it's a bunch of the characters that we met in season 5 are going to become the focus of the new show.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll give it a try. Big Mouth is hilarious and smart, and I'm on board for more of that. Same as I'll give Shoresy a try because we originally were talking about Letterkenny.
Yep.
I'll give it a go. I'm really curious how they're gonna do it. Sorry boys, it was okay. I'm gonna rewatch it, give it another go.
Yeah. It
because,
deserves that.
Yeah, this show so far has been fantastic. This is probably their lowest point for me, but maybe I'm just talking smack. I'll rewatch it and get back to you. Other than watch this, I kind of want to go, because we're ending in a bit of a low here, I kind of want to go that way into the next thing that I watched. And I know, Balzai, you kind of don't give a shit. But,
oh, yeah, I'll just tune you out for a bit.
But no, okay. I legitimately want you to engage on this one. So I also watched the new Matrix movie, Matrix Resurrections. Resurrections. So
whatever.
And here's something interesting, and I'm not the only one to think so. So I like this isn't an innovative, but let me just make a statement up front. It feels like this movie is so self-aware that it's gonna sacrifice what the fans want. So here's what
I don't follow you at all.
Okay. So there are a lot of, and mind you, there's these huge fucking spoilers. Let me just say that. Can't really talk about it without spoiling shit. Even thematically. Okay. So it knows who its audience is, right? It knows what they want, and it knows what the studios want, and it almost tries to directly fly in the face of it by making, directly calling out Warner Brothers at one point. Talking about kind of why this movie was made.
Is this an episode of The Simpsons?
So that's exactly why it felt really weird. So here's the fucked up part. Big spoiler. This Matrix movie, it's a love story.
Weren't the other ones?
No. Okay, so the big difference is the other ones had a love thing inside of it and he does stupid things. But in this one, it's legitimately like magic. Love is magic. I'll give you an example. So it's really weird. A quick rundown. Again, huge spoilers. Close your ears. So you come back to Neo. Somehow he's alive, right? But suddenly he's in the real world. Well, his version of it. And he's actually just a game developer. And the original Matrix trilogy was just the game that he created. And he's convinced that he's crazy. And that he had a mental breakdown when he believed that the real world wasn't the real world. So there's all kinds of there's all kinds of themes all over the place. It's very much what feels like the director saying, I'm not really going to play your game while I'm playing your game. Like I said, the movie's so self-aware. It just... It's hard to describe. Like, it legitimately... It feel like...
So what I'm hearing is the movie's probably as bad as most people thought it was going to be.
Yeah. So, yes. Story-wise, yes. I'm sorry. It doesn't...
So, like I told you when you told me you were going to review this, I know a few people who've watched it, and not one of them had really anything positive to say about it.
I don't know. Maybe I'm giving the director too much credit, but I feel like they accomplished what they were going out to do.
Sure, they may have accomplished it, but was it something worth anybody's time and money?
Honestly, it just sounds like I don't think they cared. That's like the biggest
so
thing.
it's The Last Jedi.
Sort of, except that the director is the creator, so at this point...
Well, but... okay, so it's fucking Phantom Menace? Like, it's still the creator, but what they turned in wasn't what anybody wanted.
Yes, agreed. I will agree. It is very Phantom Menace-y in that specific regard. Yeah, I feel like this is an entry in the series that doesn't matter.
Yeah, this is pushing me even further from, like, look, I'm not a Matrix fan. I think the first one is an incredibly okay movie. I truly, and like there are movies that I've watched, like Avatar. I don't like Avatar. Not Last Airbender, Blue fucking cat people. I think it's a pretty shit movie. It's honestly, it's kind of Tarantino to me. It's a copy paste of a bunch of other movies kind of slapped together, except instead of doing what Tarantino does and at least giving it some interesting, fun dialogue, it just gave it really pretty visuals. And for me, pretty visuals don't do shit. I don't care. That's not a movie to me. You could have just painted a picture and I would have gone, yep, that's a pretty picture. So I don't like Avatar, but I understand why other people do. People do like pretty visuals. They were whisked to another world, and a lot of people probably haven't seen Fern Gully or Dances with Wolves, so they didn't know it was a bunch of copy-paste bullshit. Okay?
Yeah.
The Matrix, I actually don't understand how it got as popular as it did, because hard sci-fi is usually lost on a lot of mainstream audience. Like, just truly, hard sci-fi usually does not play very well to a mainstream audience. That first movie's plot is fucking Swiss cheese. It barely holds together and makes sense in itself. It's way over a lot of people's heads and way up its own ass. I truly do not understand how it got as big as it did. Is it the worst thing I've ever seen? No. Is it good? No. 2 and 3 are fucking awful. If I could go the rest of my life and never see them again, I'd actually be really happy, and so far I've managed to do that. They're terrible. I don't like them at all. I don't think they have any redeemable theme or scene or performance that's like, you can sit through it for that. For me, again, this is for me. I'm not trying to sell, because like you know my brother. My brother loves the Matrix. Yep. That dude would fucking bleed if he could rewatch them over again for the first time, you know, like erase his memory and experience them again. I think they're garbage. So when this came out, I was like, I have very, like, unless I hear that this is incredible, and even then I'd have to come into it with a grain of salt because I don't like the source material already. Now, knowing fans like you are a fan of the originals, you enjoy them.
Yep.
Knowing people who follow the director's sort of walk of life mentality worldview who've seen it.
Okay.
And actually, even I do kind of feel they redeem themselves with Sense8, though I felt like Sense8's message was another like savagely on the nose message, and I really don't like savagely on the nose messages. I do still think they actually really accomplished a fun show with Sense8. I did like it. I enjoyed it. Nobody I know, again, people from those same walks of life, people who are hard fans of this series, people who are hard fans of them, so far, nobody has come back and gone, you know, I actually did like it. Literally, most of the people I saw wrote, meh. It was a movie. I watched it. Glad I got it on HBO for free. That's as far as I went. And so you explaining this now, I love Keanu Reeves. I'm fucking out. I'm out. I don't think there is anything that could like make me sit down and watch this film. I'm out.
I mean, for sure, I'm not trying to convince you. I found it interesting because my issue was I was a fan. I was a fan of the original.
Be honest for a second. How much of you wanted to like this film?
Actually,
it can't be 0%. I don't buy a zero. The young boy in you wanted this shit to be dope. At least like 1%. It was there.
Okay. Yes. I had the same hope in this that I have because I haven't seen it yet for the new Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet either, but I actually do want to see that one.
Same.
And I'm not a big Ghostbusters fan. Yeah, I think Ghostbusters is okay.
I had the same. I had the same desire. I don't know, hope, but my issue was like, where do you go from where it ended? Like,
you don't. You stop your fucking trilogy. This movie didn't need to exist.
I agree 100%.
So much so that the other writer-director was like, I don't want to revisit that.
Yeah, although there's a very nice line inside of in the movie where I agree with other folks who've said this, that I think the throwaway line was something on like, you know, the studio said they were going to do it with or without us. So it felt
but if the studio did it, I bet it would have been more of a spin-off and less whatever this was.
I think it was one of those things where it's like, hey, well, yeah, that's true. If the studio did it, it would have been like introducing the next generation, and it would have been another fucking maybe, I don't know, fucking all these remakes, dude. I'm just getting tired. I need something new. I'm getting so worn out about all this stuff, and I know I don't even want to get ranty, but I'm just getting tired of the reboots, and this was disappointing because honestly, I felt that the MMO that continued the original trilogy had a better plot than this movie, and yeah. Although again, I give credit for if what folks are saying is true, and I agree that the director was going for a bit of a fuck you. I'd understand it. The difference between like what Rian Johnson did is this is their property. Like,
I don't know that makes it better. You still just you didn't turn in what your fans wanted.
Sure.
So and like Kevin Smith has done a few things now where he's like, I made this movie for me. But the difference is most of his audience still at least enjoyed it, or if they didn't enjoy it, understood like why he did it and got what he was doing. Making a fuck you to the audience, an audience who's pretty diehard for your shit, an audience who's never really slighted, come at you, done anything. If anything, they've been fucked by the producers and like companies behind their movies more than their audiences. Sense8 had a big following, and a lot of people tried to save that show. Mm-hmm. Who are they angry at? Who were they angry at?
I don't know.
Who needed to be told fuck you?
I think that, I don't know. Look, a lot of their movies are just like.
What else did they do?
They've done like what, Atlas Shrugged? Was that?
It was fucking terrible.
They've done a few things. Was it Jupiter Ascendant?
That was fucking terrible.
I'm just saying that they have very specific.
Oh, you're Cloud Atlas. Atlas. And it was awful. It was awful. I watched it. It was awful.
Look, I am just saying that.
Speed Racer.
That maybe I'm just Speed Racer. I don't hate that one, but
I actually didn't see Speed Racer. I didn't hear good things.
No, I feel
nobody ever went. That's the one. That never happened.
It's not terrible. It's fine. It's
Oh, and
not.
I guess they did the screenplay for V for Vendetta. Sorry, V for Vendetta, which a lot of people liked. I didn't, but that's fine.
Man, do you just hate that one because it's popular? Because Hugo Weaving was fantastic.
No, I hated it just because again, it was like it's based on a comic which I haven't read. Maybe the comic's better, but it was just overly preachy, on the nose, kind of shit. I don't
Okay,
like it.
for V for Vendetta though, but I feel like that was the point. Like,
Okay, but if the point is to kick me in the nuts, I'm not going to enjoy that either. Just because it's the point of the film doesn't make it any better.
and the audience is saying that they like the novel, sorry, the graphic novel better.
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, it could be something like I liked V for Vendetta. I wasn't one of those like die hard. I'm gonna go buy the mask kind of thing, but I liked it. It was good. It was interesting. It was very much here's a caricature. Well, not even a fucking caricature. Here is a possible future in a dystopian society. Check this out. Here's a feel good revolution. So it was good. Okay, what did you think of 300?
300 was fun. It like 300 is the kind of like mindless action that only action only action and horror seem to be able to get away with it, right? Like comedy can't just go full derp and get a like few of them have like lots of movies have tried like what Scary Movie kind of did it, but they had that parody thing that they were leaning into, and then look what happened as they went on and they just tried to go like, oh, they're just jokes for the sake of being jokes. It stopped working.
Yeah.
When they had something that they were punching at, it worked. But once it just became derp for the sake of derp, or like that terrible Three Stooges movie they did, once it's just derp for the sake of derp, it stops working. But action, you can like shoot 'em up is probably the best example. You can just do action for the sake of action, and weirdly, it still works. And then same with horror, like gore porn horror and grindhouse stuff. You can kind of just do gratuitous horror for the sake of horror, and it can, it does now. And this is not to say that it always works. It can be done wrong.
No. Yeah,
on
obviously.
both sides. But 300 for me really fit that niche of like, and they tried to work in plot with like the wife and the hunchback and all that. And honestly, those are the most boring parts of that damn movie. Just fast forward through that. But the action is good enough that just that kind of gritty, brutal, stylized action really played well.
Okay.
In my opinion.
So then, do you not think that V for Vendetta is also comparable, except they're
no, because they weren't even shoehorning a message in. They just stood in front of you, beating a pot with a spoon, going, "Look at us! We have a message. Do you see it? Look at our message." And they just didn't stop.
Sure, but again, is that also why you don't like Equilibrium? Because
no, I don't like Equilibrium because it's fucking terrible.
You're just
Equilibrium,
wrong.
Equilibrium just wanted to be Fahrenheit 451, but with gun action. And you know what Fahrenheit 451 didn't need to be an incredible book? Gun kung fu. It didn't need it.
You know what?
It was fucking pointless.
I will disagree there because I argue that gun kung fu can make most movies better.
Oh, it was terrible. Hated Equilibrium.
So, you know,
that's Christian Bale, isn't it? I also just don't like Christian Bale.
I'm starting to not just believe, but completely get reinforced that you just have something against Bale. I forget, he's done nothing that you've liked, right?
I mean, I could pull it up and maybe find so he's the worst part of the Batman movies. I'm just gonna get out of the way. He's my least favorite Batman. I don't like it.
Least favorite?
He hands down, he is. I'll take fucking Adam West over him. I'll take Val Kilmer over him.
No. I like Clooney Val Kilmer over him. Clooney though?
I'll take Clooney over him.
Oh my god.
Yeah, hated it. I don't think he's a good actor. He's fucking okay. I'm not gonna read them all off. I'll just go through the ones I've seen. And again, I haven't seen everything. Maybe he's got one that like that's the one you had to see. There's like everybody fucking does with Reservoir Dogs, and I'm still not gonna see it because I don't see how that's gonna redeem him. But whatever. Okay. I didn't like American Psycho, mostly because I thought the ending really ruined it. Though I guess he did an okay job in that film. Like he wasn't what I didn't like.
Yeah.
I was with that movie until the end. I really hate. Oh no, he's in one movie that I actually like. I like him. I like the movie, and yet it's the one audiences hate. It is trashed. People cannot stand this film, and I think it's his best work. Reign of fucking Fire is so good.
Yeah,
I love Reign of Fire.
It is one of his better ones. I like it.
I love Reign of Fire.
Reign of Fire is actually really good.
It's really, people hate that movie. I love it. What is the IMDb rating on Reign of Fire? 6.2. That's higher than I would have thought. But
what does it have on Rotten Tomatoes?
All right, let's check it out.
Okay, so what about The Prestige?
I didn't even finish The Prestige. I turned it off halfway through. I fucking hated it. Hated it.
What? Are you serious? I actually thought that was one of his better ones too.
And that one's not just me. Even my wife fucking was like, "Can we stop watching this? Because this is awful."
Oh my god, no! It was good. That I'm not gonna ruin it, but the fucking ending, huh?
Oh, there. Reign of Fire is 42% rotten. So okay. So the critic score is 42. The audience score is 49, and that's out of 100,000 plus ratings.
Yeah.
Hated. I thought it was one of his best. So then Equilibrium, hated it. Didn't see The Machinist. I'm told it's very good. Then his awful fucking Batman movies. Those are absolutely passable.
Hold on. Apparently, he did a voice, and I don't remember this character. He was Thomas in Pocahontas.
You know, I've actually never seen Pocahontas.
I've seen
bits, but I've never sat down and watched
I've seen that entire movie, but in bits, never straight through, because I don't know. I just never saw it.
Yeah. So I didn't watch Terminator Salvation, and I don't hear it's very good. I'm told you really don't need to watch that movie.
But the Terminator sequels are usually that. Like, they're okay.
I actually didn't mind the time travel-y one they did. Was that Salvation? Not the newest one, the one the one that has the girl from Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I forget.
Like it's not like the best one or anything, but
was that Genesis?
Genesis. I actually didn't mind Genesis. Like again, it's not the best one they've done, but I liked Genesis. It was fine. And then I think after that point, I pretty much stopped watching fucking Christian Bale movies because he's hot garbage and can't act.
I never saw The Machinist. He's in a bunch of other things like American Hustle, The Fighter.
I see it.
Yeah, we don't watch.
I avoid his stuff now. It's just like Jamie Foxx movies, though. I avoid Jamie Foxx because I don't think he's very good either.
Ooh, I will disagree with you.
He's been in good movies, like his Spider-Man. He wasn't the problem. The dubstep fight scene was, and then I love Baby Driver, though I think he's one of the down parts of Baby Driver for me. But no, I can't think of a movie that I've watched Jamie Foxx in where I go, "Fuck, that dude made the movie." I've not seen that. Like I didn't see Ray. That was it. Like he did the Ray Charles movie.
Yeah, I didn't
see that one.
Let me just come out and say it. I don't like biopics. I'm just not that interested.
Same. There's been a couple good ones, but like I don't know enough about Ray Charles to like.
Yeah,
get into that.
I appreciate his contribution to music and everything, but I'm just not interested. But then again, I don't think there are many biopics that I'm really interested in. Yeah.
All right, we've done way too long on Christian Bale. Since I'm already railing against things, should I talk about the other fucking thing that I watched that I hated?
Yes. I also give that one a 6 out of 10. Fake Steaks. There you go.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, there's your ending on Matrix. Matrix rejuvenations, revelations, regurgitations.
They should have just called it Matrix Reboot. Honestly,
how many R words can we come up with that should have been the title of that movie? 6 out of 10. I mean, honestly, it's higher than I thought it was gonna be. So good for them. You did it. All right.
All right.
So I watched a thing. It was kind of something I threw on during the Christmas week.
Uh-huh.
So while I was working, anybody who kind of works software companies, most people I know have a similar experience. Christmas week just tends to be kind of dead, especially if you're on back
Yeah.
end stuff for Christmas week. Most folks are already into code freezes. People are out on vacation. Not a lot of folks around needing support on things. So it tends to be a little dead. So I threw on a movie while I was just doing like account scrubs and
Hmm.
expenses and all that kind of shit.
The
And I found
boring
one,
stuff.
right. Oh God, it's more of my day than not at this point. Um,
Welcome to management.
I right. I found a movie that Hulu was like, "You watch horror movies, you're gonna love this. Here's
That's funny.
Funhouse." You got a
Okay.
graphic for it?
No, I'm kidding. Of course I have a graphic.
Uh, Funhouse. So it kind of, yeah, you're kind of seeing what I saw. Um, from the picture of it, it seemed like it could be fun. Like
In a house.
creepy reality show murder fun house thing, right?
Okay.
So the vibes I'm getting, right? Like low budget Saw, that can be really fun, kind of like a grindhousey shitty
Yeah, yeah.
Saw mixed with a reality show. And I was like, okay, cool, let's check this out.
Okay.
There's a term that fans of Croshaw, whatever the fuck his
Well,
like, Yahtzee.
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 Anybody who knows Yahtzee knows he has this term he likes to use, especially when referring to things like Call of Duty and Battlefield and all that. It's spunk, gargle, wee wee. And the reason he calls them that is because it's just sort of this mass-produced, whip it out every year, kind of the same thing
Yep.
over and over garbage. Um, in the horror world, this would be a step below spunk, gargle, wee wee.
Ooh.
I've seen the mass produced, whip them out, kind of, let's just, toss a bunch of blood on the screen and make a movie, right? And some of those can actually be kind of fun. Like there'll be some interesting depths or some like interesting twists that you don't see coming out of the whole thing. And it can work. This did not have a single decent performance. It
Wow.
didn't have a single cool death. The plot was awful. The twist didn't make any fucking sense. This is probably one of the worst things that I personally watched in all of 2021. Seriously, hands down.
Right
This
there at
was,
the end, just to cap off the year.
oh, seriously, just to like at a point like I'm stopping like chunks of working to focus on how bad this awful background horror movie that I'm putting on was. And what's really disappointing is the last couple times I did this, I was like charmingly surprised at how good the movies ended up being.
So
And this,
you had expectations.
this is what I get for trusting a Hulu original horror instead of just going to Shudder and watching something on Shudder. I feel like Shudder has better quality control on their horror movies than Hulu does at this point.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be like, I feel like Shutter gets me.
Shudder does get me, bro. So the whole plot, basically, a bunch of reality stars from different reality shows, not real
Okay.
ones, obviously, are approached for this new show. And the thing is, you have to stay in this house, and the last man standing in the house wins the money. Every day, week, whatever the fuck it was, the audience is gonna vote, and whoever gets the lowest votes has to play a game to see if they can stay in the house. And if the two lowest people are within 1% of each other, they both have to play a game together. The
Okay.
winner gets immunity from going in that week, but then again, so does everybody else who isn't the loser, so I don't understand the point.
Okay.
So that whole like 1% margin thing, yeah, first two games, both 1% margins. So already this weird niche rule that probably shouldn't come up a whole bunch, we're hitting both right off the bat.
Oh, so there's no build up. It just kind of whoop-pow.
So then I'm just look, I'm going to spoil this movie. There's no point in watching it. Don't see this film. I'm just going to tell you what happens right now. If some part of you masochistically wants to sit through this garbage, I guess pop off the headphones, fast forward 5 to 10 minutes, and don't listen to me. But I'm going to spoil the dick out of this because it's terrible and it's not worth your time. I'm saving you time.
That's funny.
Now. Okay, first death. Here's the game they have to play. So the two lowest people go into the room. One person is tied up, hands above head, ball gag in the mouth, and the other person is given a spiked baseball bat, and they drop a piñata down. Except once they blindfold her and hand her the bat, they take the piñata away, and she beats the guy to death. Game! That's the game that's played to decide who gets to survive.
That's not a game, that's a murder.
No. Yep, Yep. I don't see how the other person was supposed to win or even contribute to that game. It's not like he could run away.
And they ball gagged him?
Yep.
So you can't even, give instructions?
Nope. She was just swinging in the dark till she hit something, then she kept hitting it. And he died.
So she didn't hear the...
I think she was blind, and she might have had headphones on. I don't remember that part. But yeah, you're right. She probably should have heard it.
Yeah.
She might have had headphones on. Either way, it did. That's not any dumber than anything else happening in this fucking movie. Okay, so then...
God.
The way one of the girls survived is she just immediately shows her boobs and tells them to take off the blur on her in the shower scenes. She turns off the blur in the shower scenes, so the audience votes for her. Boobies, yay. Okay. So then, of course, the next time around, Boobies chick loses because they're finding out she's shallow. Sorry, but in the real world, she'd keep winning as long as she kept showing bush. Sorry,
yeah.
That's how the real world works. And then the girl who didn't like her in the house is the one who goes up against her. Here's the next game that they play against each other. Booby girl versus judging you for being booby girl. They're both put in a dark room and given axes. Whoever kills the other one wins.
Okay.
More of a game, savagely lazy. Nothing fun, nothing creative. They take a couple swings at each other, and then on a lucky swing, booby girl plants it in the other girl's head. The other girl dies. The end. That was it. That was the whole shtick.
Wow.
Okay, so now we get to the kill that we're seeing on the screen. Yay! So that was a guy who broke the rules and tried to leave the house. And even though the house has a bunch of guards in panda masks with machine guns, that it wasn't enough just to shoot him. They had to punish him. So they just dip him in a vat of acid in front of everybody. Melt his lower half.
Oh.
That's the punishment game. I think he had to spin a wheel and then that happened. No, they just put him in there. They just melt him in acid. He dies.
Okay,
Yep.
Continue.
Okay, so now for our third game. There's a guy in there who's a cage fighter, and he's kind of a drunken jerk, and so the audience doesn't like him, so he gets voted off. So here's where it really just we're confirming that there's no game. So he has to cage fight against a crazy big burly dude that the audience selects, right? There's 6 dudes he could possibly fight, and the audience selects ones. So he goes and he wins the cage fight. He beats the guy to death. But then the host just goes, okay, now you have to fight all the other guys simultaneously.
Oh. Okay. So you get voted off and you're done.
Yeah. There is no game. You just get killed. Okay. So we're down to the final 3 people in the house, and one of them has to spin a wheel and play chess against the person who runs the house, who this whole time, here's the funnest part, there's no mystery on who the villain is. We see his face the whole time. They don't explain who he is, but we see his face while everybody in the house just sees a little animated panda. He's got face tracker app.
Okay.
And so as he rants, there's an animated panda, but we get to see him and they don't explain to us who he is. Ooh, spooky mystery. So she has to play chess against him and she wins. And so then she has to spin another wheel to see what her next game is going to be. And so the 2 people on the other side of the glass no, it's not fair, it's not fair, it's not fair, it's not fair. So the animated guy goes, fine, then the 2 of you have to play the next game, and it's dueling pistols. You each get a pistol, 10 paces, turn, fire, that's your game. And instead they both just decide to shoot each other. Or sorry, to shoot themselves.
Okay.
That's them ending the games. They're not going to contribute to his game, and they just kill themselves instead. And so we get down to the last girl. She wins, right? And so the game ends, and she gets out and whatever. And then you wait, like they roll a couple of credits, and then you get to find out the big mystery of who the guy is. He's a tech billionaire, and he goes on TV a couple of weeks after the game happens and goes on this rant about how all of these reality stars never worked for their money, and I clawed my way up from nothing, and I'm a real person, and I work, and all these vapid idiots just get out there and they show their boobs and get drunk on TV, and if you can't work for your money, you deserve to die. That's his whole motivation, is just like reality stars are shitty people. Kill them. So he does. And then ready for your big twist? The girl who played chess against him and survived, yeah, it's his girlfriend. She was in on it. Except the whole time she's in the house, she never really says anything. They even comment when she wins, the quietest member of the house won the whole thing. There's your twist. The quiet girl who didn't really develop any character or further any plot was his girlfriend.
So are they implying the whole game was rigged? There wasn't an audience?
No, they're like, we see the audience voting on stuff. That's our cut away from the house, is watching audience members vote on things and talk about who they like.
How did she stay in the game? I don't get it.
I mean, she lost one week and played chess against him and just beat him in chess. And like that was the big. Here's your big ending line. Next time, I'm not just gonna let you win in chess.
I mean, I guess that's a reveal. Sort of. I don't know. That it doesn't sound like a very exciting movie.
It was awful. The performances are terrible. Like, not to trash on anybody who's in it. I don't know what else they've been in. Maybe they're great in something else. This looked like it was pretty low budge. I wouldn't have been super fucking motivated. I really think somebody whipped out this script in a weekend, and like maybe some production company had some money. They had to like, use it or lose it, like, yeah, you always hear like the military guys like firing off rounds or whatever so they can make sure they get them in the budget for next year. This really felt like something.
But by the way, that's true.
Yeah, no, there was even guys I've heard of like taking tools and pushing them into the water in Pearl Harbor to make sure that they got newer, better tools next year. Get rid of the tools so we can make sure there's budget for it and shit like that. This really, it felt like there was some extra budget that just needed to get spent for tax reasons or something. And so they whipped out this garbage. I could not find not even a fun death, a clever twist, an interesting trap or mechanic. You realize really quickly that like there's no stakes. Once you, like you said, once you lose the week, you just die. There's no coming back. And the villain's motivation. Yeah, reality stars are awful. Yeah, we all know. You haven't made a fucking poignant observation about the world. You didn't wake anybody up. Nobody likes reality stars. We watch it because it's trash.
See, all right. If there's too much message, you're angry. If there's too little message, you're angry. You're like the Goldilocks of movie reviews right now.
I'm not saying too much message is bad. I'm saying being on the nose an entire... and you've called it out too. Anytime some new CW show goes, you're like, oh my God, it's so ham-fisted with this message.
God, it's so
Nobody
fucking
likes
awful.
a ham-fisted message.
I am all for themes. I completely
themes
agree.
Themes are great. But a ham-fisted message is boring and preachy, and unless you're the target audience, it doesn't do anything. The message was just dumb. Like, who was this for? Who was gonna watch this movie and go like, yeah, I also hate we all hate fucking reality stars. Nobody's blown away by this. You didn't shake anything up. You didn't provide a unique interpretation. You just went like, you know what people want to see? Just a bunch of reality stars get shot. I want to see a movie where we just shoot Snooki in the face. That's who this is. This was just a guy who, that's all they wanted. But we didn't even get like real. What would have made this better? Seriously, I can fix this whole movie. Go hire actual reality stars. How much better would
Okay.
it be if you actually hired like
I
a
can
bunch
see
of
that.
like B and C tier reality
Or,
stars?
or even some YouTubers, like throw some Jake Paul up in there.
Yes, hire a few guys like that and then kill them off. At least then we're all kind of in on the fun joke that
Yeah.
we're doing.
Yeah, very
This
much.
was-
What is it? Out. Oh my God! Is it World's End? The one where they basically they kill off Michael Cera in a very satisfying way.
End of the world. No,
End of the world. I fuck.
there was
I don't
like
know.
two movies that came out around the same time with similar fucking titles, and I will forever get
Well,
them
because
flipped.
what
But
is
yes,
it? At World's End. That's the Simon Pegg one.
that sounds right.
Fuck.
I gotta look up what this is now. It's a Seth Rogen movie.
Yeah. Franco's in it.
This
like,
is the end.
this is the end. Okay.
Yes.
So very much like that would have been great with reality
Right,
stars.
because then we could all be in on the joke from the beginning. We can
Mhm.
all be along with it. This was just kind of like, it's just bad. It's just bad. There's nothing redeemable about this.
Well, it is an original. Hopefully, this is something the directors can learn from, or the director can learn from.
Was it their first movie? Did you look it up?
No, I didn't fucking bother. It sounds like
I kind of have to know though. I kind of have to know.
Yeah, hit us. I mean, it could also be another U-ball though, where you're just like, no, they're
Ugh.
just bad.
Okay, well the main guy's a Skarsgård, and that doesn't surprise me because he looked familiar enough. But
Okay.
it's like the lead. It's Walter Skarsgård. Yeah, the one nobody's ever heard of.
I don't.
And it was directed and written by Jason William Lee, who did. Wow, he's actually done a few things, but nothing I've ever. So he wrote Andre the Gypsy and Me, The Loneliest Number, Drunk Whisper, Demons in the Dark, The Evil in Us, Bon Jovi's Witness, Dawn the Hill with Jack and Jill, Alpha Mem, Funhouse, and Keeper of the Real. So a bunch of shit I've never seen or heard of.
I don't even know if the
probably
genres are the same.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of these are shorts. So this and Alpha Mem are the only things he's done that weren't shorts or documentaries.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't want to be super mean, but I don't see a long, illustrious career coming out of what this dude. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. Maybe his next one will fucking blow people away. Maybe some producer got a hold of this and ruined it, but it was awful. It was awful.
All right. Well, now that we've spent fucking 10 minutes bashing this poor indie filmmaker, let's wrap her up there. Instead of final
Where's that?
thoughts today.
According to TVWBB.
Okay, apparently my Alexa's just completely going off right now. She's like, I have an opinion.
And we'll fix it in post. Alexa liked Funhouse. That's what she was saying.
Yeah, she disagrees. She very politely, robotically disagreed. But yeah, no. What was your favorite part about the holiday?
I saw Spider-Man.
Nice. We should talk about that when I see it.
Yeah, there's a lot to spoil in that movie, so unfortunately that's when we're gonna end up doing a really late review because I don't see you getting around to see it like soon.
Yeah. I'm still
But-
trying to watch Eternals, but it's not available anywhere.
I
except
still haven't seen Eternals
theaters.
either. That's the one I
Yeah.
haven't seen yet.
It's just not worth going to the movie theaters right now.
Especially not for that. It didn't do very well.
Yeah, but I like cheesy sci-fi-ish fantasy. I don't even know what I
Don't know
call
that was the problem.
Ooh, okay, terrible.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. On that note, check us out. We are back Monday.
You didn't say your favorite part of the holiday. Why did just I have to do it?
I was doing it after the outro there.
Oh, okay. All
That's-
right, go on.
Usually when I do the thing.
I'll give you a thing.
Oh baby, don't tease me with a good time. Check us out Monday nights, 7 to 8 Pacific on YouTube in 5D Podcast. Tuesday's multiplayer night. I play games with people that like TK and other folks that join us for multiplayer night. We've been playing Divinity Original Sin 2. We've been trying to get through it.
Nice.
It just kind of depends on who all shows up. Because
I've also been playing that, but on my own, because the last 3 times I started that game with a group, they've all flaked, and I was like, "Fuck this! I'm not doing it anymore. I'm just playing it on my own."
That's exactly kind of like TK and I have started multiple games because of this. We're trying to figure it out. Anyways, that is Tuesdays, twitch.tv/Metagame Network, 7 to 9 p.m. I feel like shooting shit. So play Shadow Warrior 2. We'll review that probably next time.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.